The Black Death and cancer are two of the deadliest illnesses to ever affect humans. Both have infected many, and both are responsible for claiming the lives of numerous people. To start off, the Black Death was one of, if not the most devastating pandemic in history. A pandemic is an epidemic or infectious disease. One of the factors that made this disease so devastating was the amount of lives it claimed. It is estimated that 75 to 200 million Europeans died as a result of the Black Death. The pathogen responsible for this disease was the Yersinia pestis bacterium, which is believed to have created many forms of plague. It originated from the plains of Central Asia. It later traveled along the Silk Road all the way to Crimea in 1343. The Silk Road, as seen on this image, was an ancient network of trade routes. From Crimea, the disease was brought over to Europe by oriental rat fleas that reached Europe through merchant ships. The Black Death peaked in Europe from the years 1346 to 1353. As stated before, an estimated 75 to 200 million people died during this time, which accounts for 30 to 60% of Europe's population at the time. This disease brought the world population down from 450 million to 350 million. So now, to talk about the disease itself. The Black Death takes three forms, one being infection of the lungs, which led to breathing difficulties. The victim of this infection was rumored to die within 2 days of feeling these symptoms. The second form of this disease was boils erupting under the armpits. Finally, the third form was people of both sexes being infected in the groin area. The main symptoms experienced by all victims of the Black Death was the appearance of buboes. Buboes are the swelling of lymph nodes in the armpit or groin. These buboes often oozed pus and bled when they were opened. The main cause for this disease is believed to be the lack of hygiene, although many people in medieval times had other theories. The Black Death was a horrible plague that affected all of Europe, and as a result, people reacted in various ways. When the Black Death hit Europe, the citizens had no idea of the horror that would affect every part of their lives. When one person contacted the disease, they would infect their whole family. People were stunned, confused, and petrified because in a matter of months, a large amount of their population was killed. They were shocked that a devastating pestilence had hit their continent. While it was affecting Europe, the continent was well and truly shattered by the Black Death. Once people had realized that there was no cure for this disease, they turned to their faith in God and the church. When someone lay sick in a house, no one would come near. Even dear friends, priests, and doctors would hide away and turn their backs on the people in need. Brothers would abandon brothers, and sometimes parents would abandon their children. Everyone avoided the sick. Everyone acted as though every day they lived would be their last day. In the end, the church crumbled, and people began to flee cities.
Now that we know about the Black Death and people's reaction to it, let's compare it to cancer, a disease many of us suffer from today. Cancer is defined as a group of diseases involving abnormal cell growth with the potential to invade other parts of the body. So basically, that means cells in the body divide uncontrollably and have the potential to move to other parts of the body and do the same thing. Cancer has caused about 8.2 million deaths annually, which is truly a devastating amount as this accounts for just under 15% of human deaths. Unlike the Black Death, cancer is not caused by a bacterium, but it still does have many causes. The main one is tobacco use, as it accounts for 22% of all cancer deaths. Other causes for this disease include obesity, poor diet, lack of physical activity, and the consumption of alcohol. Genetic defects inherited by parents and radiation are also popular causes of this disease. Although this disease is devastating just like the Black Death, the reactions of people are different. When people were infected with the Black Death, people distanced themselves away from the victim with the fear of being infected. However, with cancer, there is much more support from friends and family. Many people who suffer from cancer try to make the most of every day they are alive, because of the fear that they will die soon. Also, the families of the victim often grant their every wish as an attempt to make their traumatic experience more enjoyable. The public's response to cancer is also a lot different than that of the Black Death. When someone is diagnosed with cancer, many websites and fundraisers go up as an attempt to raise money for the victim. This is as a result of the high costs of cancer treatment. Today, most of the funds are provided, which proves a great response from the public. There are also many charities and fundraising events that attempt to raise money for the research of a cure for cancer. It is estimated that 1.16 trillion US dollars are invested into cancer treatment and into cancer research per year. This estimation was made in 2010.